You can ask Hannah, like, how I feel about you. She knows how I feel.
So would you ever have pulled me to let me know, knowing that he told you he has feelings for me, he still wants to pursue me? Hold on, wait, let me finish my question.
Honestly, I want you attacking her because currently I'm
I'm attacking her by asking her if she would have pulled me first.
You know you've really screwed up when you have Marco looking at you all confused and sort of asking you, what don't you understand about what you did wrong? And I also remember feeling bad when I said I didn't think Mike was it for Destiny, because I was thinking, oh my God, it's going to seem like I only want Harrison for Destiny. Yes, I thought he treated her better than all the other guys, but the fact that Mike used the word attack, knowing the impact that could have on Destiny in the way people perceive her. I didn't like that at all. Yes, he might have felt some type of way, but he knows certain words will trigger people when it comes to black women. And so for him to use the word attack and say Destiny's attacking Hannah when he's the one who encouraged her to ask Hannah what happened, I did not like that. He should have been man enough to own up his mess, and he should have spoken, or he should have asked Hannah, how much do you want me to explain, or what do you want me to say? For him to do that and to then sit there all smug, I didn't like that. I don't like that at all, because we can say anything about Destiny's previous couplings, but they've always moved with respect. Marco, yes, he felt some type of way after Destiny sort of called him out and told him she had lost all respect for him, but he never disrespected her in front of a group of people in her presence the way Mike has done. Neither did Harrison. Harrison was always mindful of how he spoke to Destiny. He never addressed her in a disrespectful way. And even when he did what he did, okay, fine, he slept with that girl in bed, fine. But still, he always moved with respect. Jonah would say some of the stupidest things to everybody else in the group, but he would always move with respect when it came to Destiny, when he was speaking to Destiny, because he didn't want, to face her wrath, maybe. And Zay has always been respectful. So for Mike to be smug and say any questions and then to go in on Destiny like that, he has just proved my point. He's not the man for Destiny. He definitely is not. And it's time for him to go home. I'm sorry. Hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. Click the like button. Turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. And definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island USA, Season 5, Episode 27. I hate to say I called it, but I did. I did say KK was going to go back, and I did say that the girls were going to look foolish after giving their advice and sort of chanting and ranting at Keenan, because the editing was mad in the sense that you have KK and Keenan sitting there cackling and smiling and flirting and everything under the sun. And then in the other corner, you have Carmen, Imani, and Hannah sort of moaning at each other. And it's like, they should have been like Destiny and been an island and remain neutral to the situation and just told KK, whatever you decide to do, I'm here for you. Because now they're in their feelings and they're feeling some type of way. And Hannah is justified to feel the way she feels because of the way Keenan behaved. I know KK's told Keenan that don't speak to her like that, but she should have told him to go and apologize to Hannah. But I don't think she did, because if she had asked him to apologize, if he himself had gone to apologize, Hannah wouldn't feel the way she feels, because Hannah is telling the girls that, I'm done. I'm washing my hands off the situation. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to mind my own business, because it seems nothing we do will ever sort of save KK. And the fact that Keenan disrespected me, I didn't like that. And so, yes, she is right to say she feels disrespected. But at the same time, when people are in a relationship, the best advice anyone can give you is mind your own business. Unless you see that the person in harm's way and they're about to be injured or killed or whatever, mind your own business. Because what happens between lovers is they'll fight and you'll try and intervene. And when they make up, you are the public enemy, because they are now united in their hatred for you because you were trying to split them up. And this is what is happening. I don't know who made Carmen the voice of reason. I don't know why the producers have started to make her a good girl. She's not it. They need to leave her in her lane where she's been terrible. If they're going to edit Destiny in a way that turns the fans against her, they should do the same for Carmen, because that's how they started them off. And yet Carmen suddenly has this arc where she's now this angel, this advocate for everybody else. And Destiny is just still in the wind with people hating her for no apparent reason. Amani as well was saying, she feels some type of way. They all feel some type of way, and they're justified to feel some type of way. But at the same time, this was not their fight to fight. They should have minded their business. And now that they've understood that KK is the only one who's going to pull herself out of the situation, they all need to take a seat back and just watch and just continue their couples. And then you have Zay and Mateo having a conversation, and with Mateo saying he feels some type of way because he came with Cassie hoping to be in a couple with Cassie and give it 100%. But it seems like Cassie is still sort of stuck on Leo. And it's like, yes, she's going to be stuck on Leo. I would be worried if she made sudden moves because I would start to think, does she really have a genuine connection with Leo? If not, is she likely to play me the same way that she played Leo? And Zay did what the girls should have done because he told them, whatever you decide, I will support you. So if you think you want to explore other connections, that do you. If you think you want to wait for Cassie, do you. I'm here to support you and I don't think anyone will knock you. You've already had a conversation with Cassie about this, and now the ball is in your court, as she said. So whatever you decide, I will be here to support you, which I agree with. And then you also have Jonah moaning to Jonah, and it's like, who made Jonah, an advocate for anyone? Who made him the voice of reason anyway? Because Jonah hasn't moved very well in the villa, so the idea that the producers are trying to give him this positive story arc the same way they're giving Carmen, I don't get it. I don't get why all the islanders have to bring up their age. Maturity is not a number. It's not based on a number, because some people can be 60 and still behave immaturely. So for them to start, oh, I am 29 years old, I'm 26 years old. You knew you were 26 before you slept with Marco. So please don't suddenly make it seem about age. And for Jonah to say, oh, he's only 21, he's very childish. What has Jonah done to show us that he's very mature? Please, somebody tell me. Because he has been very immature, the way he was taunting Harrison after he coupled with Destiny, the way he was pandering to Destiny and Imani, hoping that they would couple with him, the slang, the vernacular he was using, and suddenly, as soon as he coupled up with Taylor, all that has gone out the window. Please sit down. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. All the islanders get ready for bed. And I like the fact that even in bed, Mateo had a conversation with Cass and said to her, I've decided to try and explore connections, but know that you and I are okay. Nothing will ever come between us, but I just feel I need to do something. And he's right to try and explore connections in the sense that they are in the villa, you need to be in a couple, but as long as he does it respectfully, I'm here for it. And surprise, surprise, KK and Keenan are in bed together and they're making out. And it's like, what was the point of everything? What was the point? Really, what was the point? Why were you screaming and pretending to be upset and crying and vomiting and all that just for him to come and play you like that? He's going to move on with one of the Casa girls. Whichever one of the Casa girls becomes single and shows him attention, he's going to move on. And then you're going to look even more silly than you look at the moment. But hey, that's just me. So in the morning, everybody wakes up. They're happy to be still in the villa. And this is one thing I liked about Destiny and Harrison. They hold a PhD in minding their own business, because they would just sit there and leave everybody else. The whole villa could be on fire and they would just be there chatting and doing whatever nonsense they were doing. And now Cassie is sort of trying to moan about her Leo situation with Destiny, about the fact that Leo was cuddling Jonay in bed. And Destiny is there, she doesn't say anything. And I think because she didn't get the attention she needed, she then pulled Imani aside and was having a conversation with Imani. And guess who had to show up to be Professor Saver? Carmen, obviously. And she's saying that, after him cuddling Jonay in bed, I've decided that I'm going to move on and I'm going to give 100% attention to Mateo, because Mateo and I had a great connection. And it's like, well, you should have done that really, because if you slept with someone, what else do you need him to do in order for you to break off things with him, really? What else? And then it's I don't know which is worse, the hypocrisy or the audacity of Keenan. The fact that he has the nerve to sort of criticize Leo, given how he's moved in the villa. Leo has only done one thing wrong. Okay, fine, he coupled up with Anna, but he was telling Cassie, and Cassie knew that he was in a couple. Anna and him were still exploring a connection. He hasn't tried to explore connections with every single girl that has walked into the villa, Keenan, since they walked in on day one. And now he has the audacity to sit there and be listening to Jonah and say, oh, I hate it when good people start crying. When KK was crying, you didn't console her. You have done so many things to KK to break her down. So the idea that you think that Leo is a bad guy because he slept with someone and he did ABC, you're just as bad. The only difference is you were able to hide your stuff under your duvet and you didn't tell anybody else. And Nadia was a better person because had it been one of the Casa girls from the UK, they would have told everybody at the fire pit that we did A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But she kept her cool and she just kept quiet and just kept it moving and left without saying anything. And I don't know why she didn't expose you for you to sit there and be all high and mighty and, oh, I hate seeing people cry. The fact that he was wiping away her tears, this, that, and the other. Just because he's made KK breakfast doesn't mean he's now a good guy. I hate the idea that you have people like Carmen, you have people like Keenan trying to offer advice as though they're the good guy. No, I don't know whether the producers think we are sort of stupid in a way, in the sense that they show us negative edits of these people for so long, and then suddenly they want to paint them as heroes. Why is Keenan having a conversation with Kenzo and giving him advice? When did Keenan and Jonah and Carmen suddenly become the voice of reasons in the villa? Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense to me, and I don't like that because Keenan is speaking to Jonah, and Jonah saying, "Oh, I have feelings for Carmen. I'm thinking of making her my girlfriend. It's too good to be true." Make it make sense. Are you head over heels with her, and you want to make her your girlfriend, or are you having doubts because it's too good to be true? Don't waste our time. Come in and Kenzo, I'm not buying whatever they're selling. You have KK and Cassie speaking. Obviously, Cassie's just telling KK the updates about her situation, and it's like, why is KK not taking advice from Cassie? Why is she not seeing how Cassie is moving? The fact that she thinks she's in a better situation just because Keenan didn't sleep with Nadja doesn't make sense to me. He more or less slept with her. He more or less. Maybe it's his fingers that did the sleeping with her, but he still more or less slept with her. So I can't wait for movie night for her to see exactly what he got up to, and then we'll see how that goes. And then you have Hannah O speaking to the girls with Hannah saying, "Oh, I'm in a couple with Mike. Things are going great, but I'm worried that, his situation with Destiny." You don't need to worry about your situation with Destiny. Just because if he really was into Destiny, he would have closed things off with you, or he would have, as soon as Destiny came from Casa, he would have sat down with her. They would have, decided what they wanted to do. But he told Destiny, the ball is in your court. You decide whether or not we break up. I think Mike is very smart. He knows that people are going to know that he's always chasing snow bunnies. And so had he broken up with Destiny when she came back from Casa, then everyone would have said he's broken up with her because he's finally managed to find a snow bunny. But he's put the ball in Destiny's court. That way, if anything goes wrong, Destiny is the one who's responsible for that. And he comes out looking like the good guy. So for Hannah O to be moaning, "Oh, I don't know where he stands," don't worry. Destiny is not paying him attention. She says she only spoke to him once, and that should be enough confirmation for you that there's nothing there. Destiny is moving on with Zay. Destiny is having a conversation with KK. Obviously, they're discussing the fact that she had a connection with Mike, and she's also got a connection with Zay, and she's sort of trying to find which is best for her. I don't think a romantic connection is available for Destiny in the villa. Sadly, I now have to agree with Harrison. But I think to get her to the finale, the best person to get her there is Zay. He's got his own problems, but I think he is the best person to get her there because he's not going to hurt her. He seems to have only been focused on her. We haven't seen him chat with anyone, and she confirmed that it's all about her. So I think she needs to focus on Zay, and she needs to leave Mike alone because he's not it. He really is not it. And then you have Mike having a conversation with Leo, and it's like, oh, these conversations are too boring. Can they just bring on movie night? We've had enough. And Carmen suddenly appears. I don't know who made her, all knowing and all wise in the villa. Oh my gosh, she's getting on my nose. I guess the producers have shown their hand. Because it seems every season of Love Island, it doesn't matter which country it is, they always have their favorite couple. Last season on the US version, it was Debbie, and Debbie got to go on all the fancy dates. She got to do all the fancy stuff, and it seems the same thing is happening now, that Carmen and Kenzo are their favorites. Because Kenzo was telling Keenan about wanting to ask Carmen to be his girlfriend, and suddenly they're sent on a date, and it's like, the viewers were demanding a date for Harrison and Destiny, and they never got one. And yet suddenly Kenzo starts talking about making Carmen his girlfriend, and they get a date. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And for them to then go on that date, and the first thing they do is analyze the other couples. Why? Why? And then they had to emphasize that we live 10 minutes apart, but we don't even know each other. The producers are telling them what to say. The producers know that the viewers are unhappy at the fact that these people knew each other before they came into the villa, and they're pretending not to know one another, and that's why they had to address that bit. They're now boyfriend and girlfriend. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. In the villa, you have Bergie sitting with his sister and her boyfriend, obviously Hannah and Marco, and they're talking about the fact that, oh, it's amazing that, Carmen and Kenzo have been able to go on this date. They're happy for them, and they're speculating what's happening. And they're talking about the idea that Kenzo might be wanting to ask Carmen to be his girlfriend. And then they start talking about Marco asking Hannah to be his girlfriend and how she wants that to be done and stuff. And you could tell that Bergie is there for. I think if everybody else falls out in the villa, Hannah and Bergie are always going to be very close because they have this sibling relationship. Because of the fact that Hannah said to Marco, when you're ready to ask me, you have to get Bergie to help you. And it's like, oh, that's sweet. And she told him, don't ask me now. And he said, no, I'm not going to ask you now. And it's like, these relationships, are they really genuine, or are these people just pretending just because they know that's what the viewers want to know? Because it doesn't make sense. It's only what, week 3, week 4, but hey, it is what it is. So Leo and Jonay eventually sit down for a chat because they've been dancing around this topic, and it's time for them to sort of speak and see where they stand. Obviously, Jonay lays her cards on the table and sets boundaries that it's either you pick me or you pick Carmen. Otherwise, I'm not going to sit around and wait forever. My worry is if Leo doesn't pick Jonay is going to go for Zay because of the way her mouth was watering when Destiny walked up with Zay on recoupling night. So I really want Leo to tie Jonay down. That way she doesn't go for Zay because Zay is for Destiny. Yes, he's got his issues, but I would rather he stay with Destiny anyway. So I like the fact that she was honest. She laid her cards on the table, told him she'd been supporting him, she was here for him, but at the end of the day, she didn't want to sit around and wait indefinitely for Leo to make a decision. He needed to make a decision. And so he decided that he was going to put his feelings for Cassie on the back burner and sort of focus on Jonay and see how far that could go. I think that's the best way forward. There's no reason why you should go back to Cassie for the 3rd time. They've tried it once, it didn't work. They tried it a 2nd time, it didn't work. That's enough. They both need to move on. Cassie's busy breaking down to KK, about how she feels. And she is within reason to sort of feel some type of way, but I still don't get what everybody's making a big deal about Leo's situation, given that every other person in the villa has had sex. Some have been fingered, some have had hand jobs, but every other person in the villa has had sex. So please, let's not make Leo, the scapegoat for everybody else's sins. And for KK, the audacity and the hypocrisy for her to say you deserve better, and it's like, please, where's a mirror? Somebody just needs to bring a mirror in the villa and be showing everybody their face, because some of the stuff that they're saying, they should be saying it to themselves. So maybe while they're saying whatever they're saying, they should be looking at themselves in the mirror and telling themselves exactly how they feel. Because for her to say, oh, you deserve better than Leo, and yet she's with Keenan, doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, you have Carmen and Kenzo come back from their date, and they're telling everybody their boyfriend and girlfriend. It is what it is. Really not bothered about that. I am not buying this relationship, as I've said. So hey, to each their own. So Hannah receives a text message and she lets everybody know that it's going to be movie night. And you can see some people are nervous. Some people are just playing it cool. Like Keenan is trying to think of every single thing that he's done because he knows that KK is going to feel some type of way. And I like the fact that Leo said, now it's a good thing that everybody else's crap is going to be on Front Street. Just because they've all been dragging him and making him feel like the worst person ever, while they are guilty of doing more or less the same thing. The only difference is they did theirs under the duvets and they kept quiet about it, whereas a message was sent to the girls in Casa and they saw, Jonay talking about having had sex with Leo. So I can't wait for it. And the fact that everybody keeps wanting to look at Jonay some type of way, and they feel some type of way. You have Amani, you have Carmen, and it's like, everybody's none of your business. Focus on your couplings. You don't have to be outraged for Cassie. Cassie is grown enough to sort of face this and deal with it in a more mature way than anybody else in the villa, the way she's dealt with it. So please save your outrage for somebody else who cares. I really don't care, and I really don't like the peanut gallery going off. I know. I dislike the way they've treated Leo. I really do, because I think everybody else has targeted Leo. So whatever else they did wrong during Casa, they've hid behind their hatred for what Leo did, and they've made him the poster boy for all bad things that happened in Casa Amor, when we all know that everybody was moving mad. And Bergie, told the guys that everybody needs to be careful, because whatever you said is about to come out, or whatever you did needs to come out, and people are pretending like they don't know what they did, and it's like, takes it somewhere. So the islanders get ready for movie night, and Keenan immediately, I think after Bergie said everybody beware because whatever you said or did is going to come out, he realized that, oh crap, I need to go and sort of make sure I get in first to KK and tell her what I want her to hear before she sees whatever she sees. And then it's the audacity for him to say, just remember, it's the editing. What editing? Did they take your hand and put it on Naja's JJ? Please, please, please don't make a fool of yourself. Really don't make a fool of yourself. Just own what you did with your full chest and apologize and move on. Everybody's kicking Leo while he's down, but he's always owned what he did. He hasn't tried to make it seem like it was less than what it is. So the islanders then pick, so it's the boys that win the first question, and they pick the tale of two hideaways, and obviously it was Destiny going in and falling asleep. And so there was nothing there, and then they showed Bergie. I had to fast forward through the Bergie stuff because it seemed more or less like he was being taught how to make love to a woman, and I was very uncomfortable with that. And they showed Mike with this stern face, and it's like, please sit down. You did way more than what Destiny did. Destiny fell asleep. You actually had someone touching little Mike. So please sit down. I really don't care about how you feel. And I, in my opinion, feel that you're not the right guy for Destiny. So please keep it moving on to the next one. To say I'm seething is an understatement. I am on fire. I called it. I said Mike wasn't it for Destiny, and I felt bad for saying it, but now he has proved me right, because the level of disrespect, the way he spoke to her, and the fact that he said Destiny was attacking Hannah when Destiny was asking a question, I don't like that. He knows how black women are perceived in society. He knows that that's a code word for some people to try and get away with sort of labeling Destiny as the angry black woman. So for him to sit there and say, so what do you think? Oh, stop attacking Hannah. When did she attack Hannah? You encouraged her to ask the question. You said you had feelings for Destiny, and yet didn't have the nerve to tell her that you and Hannah were playing touchy-touchy in bed, knowing how she felt when Harrison did the same thing. He's not it. He's not it. The way he's spoken to Destiny shows a lack of respect. He does not care about Destiny's feelings. He couldn't be bothered what she decides to do, because first of all he asks any questions, and it's like, what do you mean any questions? You told Destiny the door was open. You told her you had feelings for her. You say you told Hannah that the door was open. You had feelings for Destiny. You're complaining that you're sitting next to Zay, who didn't make out with Destiny because she wanted to respect whatever the two of you are building. I am furious. I am furious. I want Destiny to move on. If she could move on from Harrison touching Emily, she can do the same. This is nothing. This guy, she was not even in a couple with him. She was making out with him, yes, but that's not enough for her to continue to tolerate and sort of entertain the disrespect. I'm furious. I am furious. And I don't want anyone saying, oh, but you always criticize black males. No, I don't. I judge people according to how they present themselves. And I am on fire because of the disrespect that Mike showed towards Destiny, given the fact that he said he had feelings for her and he was building something. I had a feeling when he started entertaining Destiny that the only reason why he entertained Destiny was because he wanted KK and KK wasn't bothered about him. Not even KK. I don't think he wanted KK. I think he wanted one of the blonde girls, but he couldn't get one of the blonde girls because they were in a couple. It was only Carmen. She was in a couple. So he then sat there and thought, what shall I do next? I need to be in a couple with someone. Destiny was paying him attention because she needed to be in a couple with someone. And he decided to entertain her just because she was convenient, not because he had any feelings towards her, because he has shown who he is by the way he's spoken to her. I do not like it. I hate the fact that all the other girls sat there and were watching and people were laughing. Even Marco was very upset. You could tell that he wasn't happy with the way that Mike was speaking to Destiny. And that says a lot given Destiny's relationship with Marco and the things that they've had to go through. I don't like it. And Leo had good advice, but as Destiny said, he was the wrong messenger. It was not the time or the place. I think when Destiny's cooled down, he can go and have a conversation with her. But I think for now, he has bigger fish to fry and he needs to focus on his own mess. So they showed the video of Leo and Janae having sex. And I think, according to my personal opinion, people are pretending to be outraged. That way, the focus is mainly on Leo and they can get away with whatever they did, because I don't like the fact that you have people like Kenan sitting there and throwing stones and adding fuel to the fire. You have people like Carmen adding fuel to the fire. KK. Everybody should keep quiet. This should only be between Cassie, Jonay, and Leo. Everybody else's opinion doesn't matter. I like the fact that people like Hannah, people like Destiny minded their own business and kept quiet and didn't involve themselves in this mess. But I hate the fact that people are sort of making it seem as though Leo has done the most terrible thing ever. They knew who he was. He's only 21 years old. I know I said age doesn't equate maturity, but he's tried to handle this situation in as mature a way as possible. And the fact that people continue to hit him on his head while he's down and nobody's going to protect him, I don't like that. And everybody would rather stay there and just watch it and just wait for things to sort of explode. For Mike to say to him, oh, they want a yes or no, you need to sit down, Mike. Your opinion is not needed in this because of how you disrespected Destiny. I would rather you sit down. I would rather Kenan sit down and keep quiet. Kenzo can keep quiet as well because he needs to mind his business about the lies he's telling. Jonah, the same thing. The only two people who might have something to say, I think, are Marco and Bergie. Everybody else needs to keep quiet. I really don't want to hear what you have to say. He's apologized countless times. He's taken responsibility for what's happened. And it seems like this was a consensual act. And I don't get why Leo is the only person who's facing the wrath of the Islanders when Janae was also in it. It's not like he forced himself on Janae. Yes, he asked for the kiss. He asked her to come to bed. But it's not like he did this alone. She consented. She's an adult. She's older than him. She consented to this act. They should both be sharing the blame. And the fact that people are now putting him on the spot in front of everyone, I do not like that. I can't wait to see how Kenan handles this situation. I can't wait. I really can't wait. And I want to see if all the other Islanders behave the same way that they behaved towards Leo when it comes to Kenan, because he did worse. He did worse. He kept talking about how he had a hard on. He kept, every other night he was making out in bed with Naja and then pretended like Naja was the reason why all this happened. She's the one who came on to him. He was innocent. I can't wait to see what happens. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.